subscribe, watch previous videos, comment, like, do whatever you want to do, or jump in right now. That's cool too. So, a little announcement before I tell you why I'm at this creek. The blooper video kind of ordeal. Once we hit 50 subscribers, I'm going to do a bloopers video. So we are at 33 right now. We're doing great, guys. The whole purpose to try to get 50 is, 50 people that are hearing the word of God. I think that is a pretty big deal, and it should be celebrated. So yeah, let's get that done. Okay, so I'm at this body of water. It is the closest body of water I had. The creek, local creek, pretty cool. It feels like a pretty nice day to take a dip, but not for our Bible character this week.
Hello everybody, I hope you can hear me. I'm doing this screen recording thing. I'm going to have the Bible read so you guys can hear it, and I know I stutter sometimes. Big words are sometimes hard for me to pronounce, so I'm gonna just let you guys listen to it from a kind of a professional reading it. Alright, see you in a sec. Okay, so we're gonna be in Jonah 1. I'm just gonna let this guy read it because he's just gonna read it.
The prophet Jonah, chapter 1. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own God. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us so that we will not perish." Then the sailors said to each other, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, "Tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? What kind of work do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you?" He answered, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." This terrified them, and they asked, "What have you done?" They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. The sea was getting rougher and rougher, so they asked him, "What should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us?" "Pick me up and throw me into the sea," he replied, "and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault that this great storm has come upon you." Instead, the men did their best to row back to land, but they could not, for the sea grew even wilder than before.
Okay, guys, so that's just a little bit. There's more, just a little bit more, but I'm just going to kind of paraphrase. So, I'll actually see you guys in a second.
Alright, guys, Jonah. He seems like a very interesting character, doesn't he? Jesus told him to go one way, he goes the complete opposite way. That's like you're supposed to be traveling north, but you're traveling south. But, we can't, totally badmouth the guy. It's not so different from us in our life. You know, there's been moments, I will admit, that Jesus tells me to do something. He's like, "Hey, come on, you need to do this. It's gonna bring me glory, I will equip you." And I'm like, I try to make these excuses, like, "Lord, I'm not qualified. There's no way. I'm me. How can I do something that big?" And I really don't want to do it, you know? There's so many excuses that we use. And Jonah did this as well. But, we do it too. So, Jonah was told to go to Nineveh. A little background about Nineveh: not good people. They were bad. They did all this sin. They were definitely, stay away from Nineveh. They're not good. So, Jonah, scared out of his life, is like, "Whoa, they're bad. They're not cool. I'm not going to do that." But, so he goes into the ship and, tries to sail away, try to run away from God. This shows us that you can never outrun God. He's going to win every race, and he's going to catch up to you in a matter of seconds. So, yes. So Jonah tries to go away. He's on this ship, and then this massive storm comes. It's knocking the ship. If you've ever been at sea and, see some of the waves, you can, some of the waves are a little daunting if they're big, and you go out and you try to jump the waves. Just think that times, 20. Big waves. All of Jonah's crew is scared out of their lives. They're praying on their gods, Those people, sadly, did not believe in the one true God. They all believed in different gods, so that might have been their first error. So they come down to under the ship and's like, hey, Jonah, dude, wake up. Call on your God. Maybe he'll do something, They don't really trust in Jonah's God. And then Jonah's like, okay, yeah, my God actually created the sea. So they're like, whoa, what did you do? Yeah. And, so Jonah prays, and while Jonah's kind of praying, they cast lots. So the lots fall to Jonah. So, long story short, they decide to throw Jonah overboard. Jonah's like, I did it. I'll pay the consequences. So they throw him overboard, and immediately the sea's calm. Sun comes out, immediately the sea is calm. I think that is so cool because in that moment, they saw how powerful Jesus was. They saw his mercy and his compassion that he stopped the storm. And this isn't biblical, but it's my opinion. I wonder if there were any new believers that day on that boat. They're like, wow, that is a pretty awesome God. Maybe I'm going to follow him. Because, yeah, Jesus, he has anger. God is a God of love and kindness, and he wants to see you succeed in your life. But if you cross him, he's gonna discipline you. But they saw both sides. They saw his anger and his just, and they saw his love and his kindness. Just like a parent, Jesus is the perfect parent that he's gonna discipline you when you do something wrong, but he loves you with a love that you'll never know. And that is it's so overwhelming to think about, and it's so comforting to know that a God who created, he created the sea. He created me, that he loves me. I just love that. And so, okay, Jonah's thrown over, sea's calm. So now Jonah's kind of chilling out. All right, I got a little illustration. We've got Jonah, okay? This is my little Jonah. I'm thinking, he's in the water, and then, ba-bam, giant whale. I'll try to scooch back to see if you can see him. He's got his tail. He's a giant whale, okay? So, it's a little big, okay? Jonah's in the water, and then this whale just comes and eats him. So Jonah, my little Jonah character, is now inside of this whale. He's not riding on top. He's in the intestines. Okay. If you have ever seen fish in real life, on the outside, if you've touched it, or if you're a fisherman, my fishermen out there, shout out to you guys. Touching fish, just the outside, their scales. It's a little gross, in my opinion. I've touched a fish, it's slimy. Imagine being inside of one. That's so gross. The complexity, the digestive system, the stomach, the other animals inside of it. So gross. It's disgusting. So, Jonah is now eaten, alright? But he's still alive. He's kind of just chilling in the whale's stomach. Nice place to be. It's a great day to spend his day. But, not only is Jonah, my little Jonah character, not only is he inside of the whale for a few minutes, a few minutes, you think he can take it. No. He is inside the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. So, there would be no light. You would be sitting in sluice. How disgusting. But Jonah, this whole time, he is praying. Alright, we'll read a little bit more scripture. See you in a sec, guys.
Alright, I'm doing the screen recording thing again so we can read a little bit more. Okay, so I'm in Jonah 1, the bottom, Jonah 11. Now the Lord provided a huge fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. From inside the fish, Jonah prayed to the Lord his God. Now, kind of 2 all the way through, 9, it's all kind of his prayer. He's kind of, he's calling out to Jesus. He's really struggling. I mean, I would be struggling if I was in a belly of a fish. I feel him. I've never been in a fish, though. So, that's his prayer. So, I'm not going to read that because he's praying. So, now, 10, and the Lord commanded the fish, and it vomited Jonah onto dry land. So, he's in the fish. Obviously, now he is not. All right, moving around. So, now we're at 3. Jonah is a pretty short book, the Bible. There is only, I'm pretty sure, sorry. Okay, there's only 4 books. There's only 4 chapters. There's only 4 chapters. Okay, so we're back to 3. So now Jonah gets a second chance. Our God is the God of first chances, second chances, a millionth chances. He gives us so many chances. So Jonah gets a second chance to go to Nineveh. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time. Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim to it the message I gave you. Jonah obeyed the word of the Lord and went to Nineveh. Now Nineveh was a very large city. It took 3 days to go through it. Jonah began by going a day's journey into the city, proclaiming, 40 more days and Nineveh will be overthrown. The Ninevites believed God. A fast was proclaimed, and all of them, from the greatest to least, put on sackcloth. When Jonah's warning reached the king of Nineveh, he rose from his throne, took off his royal robes, covered himself with sackcloth, and sat in the dust. This is the proclamation he issued in Nineveh. So, that's his proclamation. When God saw what they did and how they turned from their evil ways, he relented and did not bring on them the destruction he had threatened. That's the reading.
I love this, that Jonah, he got a second chance, and he went to Nineveh. He obeyed. And I think this is really powerful because without Jonah, the Ninevites might have never realized and found God. This is very important because even today, there's probably people in your life, I know there is, there's probably multiple people in your life that have never heard the glorious wonders of Jesus. And you might be their only hope. I know that sounds kind of daunting, like, whoa, I'm young, like, I'm their only hope. But isn't that so sad that some people never have heard Jesus? And that's why we have to be on our guard, and we have to tell the word. We have to proclaim Jesus. And, I go to public school, so it can be scary being different. I know. If you've watched the previous video, Persecution, I've talked about that. It's scary. I'm sure Jonah faced persecution at the beginning. But the Ninevites, they were like, they wanted to believe in Jesus. They had never, I don't know if they've known, but they saw what they did was evil. Jesus put it in their hearts like, whoa, that's not right. We gotta stop. We gotta get off that road. They were going down, I'm sorry, it's the truth. They were going down the road to hell at about 75 miles an hour and climbing. Scary road to be on at that pace. And, Jonah came and through God changed their lives. We can change lives too. This isn't just something in the past, There are unbelievers. There are people doing evil in our world today, and we have the power to change it just like Jonah. So, I hope you learned a lot about Jonah and the whale. The whale. Don't forget about the whale, alright? And Jonah. Alright. Bye, guys. Hope you learned a lot. And sorry this video was a little longer. I had a lot to say. It was a good passage.